What's happening, geezer? Another video. This is only going to be a shorter one. I understand that your attention span is probably still fried, even though I've released some more longer form. This one is about my carb loading system. It's a complete breakdown of carbs, how to utilize them, when to utilize them, when to utilize certain carbs around your day, around your training, why we should be eating them. I'm going to take you through the system now. This is the carb loading system. Stop fearing carbs. Actually learn how to use them, because carbs aren't making you fat. The wrong carbs are making you fat. You wouldn't drive your car with no petrol in it, would you? You just wouldn't do that, because it wouldn't function properly. It wouldn't drive. It wouldn't operate in the way that you want it to operate. So why are you going to the gym and training your muscles with no carbs? Once you can make this mental shift that carbs to your muscles and the right carbs is like petrol to your car and the right petrol, then you will never go to the gym not fueling up your muscles, because they're running on empty anyway, so why are you going to use them? If you've got an empty tank, you physically cannot drive your car, but you're still taking yourself to the gym, even though your muscles physically cannot be hitting a effective session. So the problem with the keto, obviously, as you know, I am the anti-keto guy. I hate keto with a passion, and that's coming from someone that actually lost weight and lost a ton of weight on keto himself. So I'm speaking from experience. Keto is ass. The problem with keto, people fear carbs and they overeat protein. So they go, oh, protein, 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 which means they're then training with no fuel because they've cut the carbs. And then they crave the junk food at night, which then will put them into a surplus because they're not fueling their body. Their body is not getting what it needs throughout the day. So those cravings creep in for that dopamine later on at night at 11 p.m. after your final meal. The carbs are not making you fat. The calorie-dense protein foods are. The keto illusion is that people cut carbs. This is exactly what happens and why people think that keto is amazing. Because the keto illusion is they cut carbs, then their glycogen drops, then their water drops, and because the scale goes down so fast in that first week or two, people think it's pure fat loss. Yes, I'm finally losing that weight. Yeah, you've lost weight. Well done, mate. But you haven't lost the fat. You're still fat, mate. You've just got less water and less glycogen in your muscles now. So it's not actually what you think. Fast scale loss does not always mean fast fat loss. That's just not what it is. I wish it was. I wish I could lose you fat, or anyone could lose you fat like that. But that's just not the reality of it. The truth is that the carbs are fuel. Protein builds and repairs, okay? But carbs power the training that forces that growth. It's like the human body. Yes, you need the protein. Yes, you need the carbs. Yes, you need the fats. You can't just be having one and neglecting the other. You can't just be having two and neglecting the one. Your body function. It's like the human body in terms of if the brain's working, but then the heart shuts down, the whole body shuts down. But if the heart's working and the brain shuts down, the whole body shuts down. You need every component in your body to be working so that the system is smooth and runs and operates correctly. It's the exact same thing with your training, with building your body. These are the whole food carbs, okay? These are the carbs that should be in your diet every single day. Sweet potato and dates should be used at different times, but they're both the king of carbs, in my opinion. Everyone's got their different opinion, but I'll give you my reasoning for that in a sec. Full glycogen tank from these whole food carbs. Then you have better training, okay? Better training builds more muscle. I don't need to explain that. More muscle makes your fat loss easier because you're burning more calories at rest because your weight has now gone up. I'm going to exaggerate to prove the point. A 150 kilogram person who is ripped with all muscle mass, he's just unbelievable bodybuilder, is going to burn more calories standing up, not walking, not doing anything, just standing up for 8 hours compared to someone who's half his weight at 75 kilograms. I'm hoping that is just common sense, but he's got more of a body. Muscle weighs more than fat as well, but he's got more of a body. So his body needs more calories, energy, calories is energy, to be able to function properly. So just standing, his resting calories burnt throughout the day, his BMI, his basal metabolic rate, will be drastically higher than the person that's half his weight because he has double the body, so he needs more calories. I'm hoping that's just plain common sense. And this is the thing. When you think about it, it is all just common sense. I am not giving you some crazy or using some crazy vocabulary or crazy confusing words, which a lot of people do in the fitness space and in every space, because they're trying to confuse their viewer to make the viewer think that they know what they're talking about, when in reality, in my opinion, someone that really knows what they're talking about can simplify a topic and explain it to a 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old will understand. It's not about using complicated analogies or complicated language to confuse the viewer. For you, I'm trying to make it as simple as possible, because at the end of the day, I'm hoping there's moments already, and there's moments that will come up in this video and all throughout my content, whether you're watching my Instagram or my YouTube videos, where it's just like, you have that aha moment. Oh my God, that just sounds like common sense. And that's how you learn. That's how I learn. When something is so simple, it sounds like you should have known it. It's like, oh, of course, that's obvious. Then the person that has taught you that and explained it to you has done a really good job, because this is just common sense when you think about it. But I'm just laying it out in front of you in the simplest way possible so that you can see that it is just basic common sense. This is nothing, it's not complex. This is a very, very simple topic, very simple subject. So the muscle building construction site, this is a very good way to see your body building. Weightlifting, it's the stimulus your body needs to build muscle, to grow. Protein, the material. Okay, on the construction site, protein is the material, the bricks, all of this. Carbs, the workers / the energy. So you need the carbs, aka the workmen, to be able to use the protein, bricks, to build the construction site, aka your body. But then sleep is when the construction happens. So when you go to bed, when you're recovering, and you have effective 6 to 8 hours of sleep, that is when your body is growing. That is when the construction happens. As I've said, weightlifting tells the body what to build. Protein gives the body the building blocks. It gives it the bricks. The carbs powers the work that actually builds the body and uses the material. And then the sleep is the recovery when the body actually builds, like I've said. Weightlifting is the stimulus, protein is the material, carbs are the energy, and sleep is when the construction happens. If you can drill this right here into your head, these 4 blue boxes, it will become so much clearer for you as to why you should be having the carbs, why you should be having the protein, why you should be weightlifting, why you should be sleeping. Nutrition, training, and recovery are the 3 main pillars of you getting in shape and becoming that best version of yourself. If one of them fails, it's not going to work. If 2 of them are good or 2 of them fail, it's not going to work. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. You cannot build on poor recovery. But then you cannot build if you don't train. All of these things are pieces to your puzzle that need to all be connected in conjunction with one another. You can't, this is why you see people that go down the gym and they look the same as 5 years ago, because they're training, but their muscles aren't building because they're not seeing it like this construction site right here. The protein rule is 1 gram per pound of body weight. Not going to go into that. You've heard it all before. The reason that you've heard it all before is because it's true. I'm not going to tell you any new information. No new studies. 1.2 builds more muscle. No, 1 gram per pound of body weight. That should be your staple, whether you're cutting, whether you're bulking. People say to change your protein, no matter if you're cutting or bulking. The only thing that will change if you're cutting or bulking should be your carbs. That is your energy. And when you're in deeper of a deficit, you can't pull from the protein because you can't take away the material that you need to build the construction site. But you can take away more workers. It might take longer to build the construction site. You see, with the analogy where I'm going, it might take a bit longer because you've got more workers. It might be harder, but you cannot take away the material. That is essential. Protein is the material. Then carbs, you need the energy. You have to take those calories from carbs because you can't take them from protein. You can't take them from fats because it's hormone regulation, testosterone, the building block hormone of being a man. So you have to take it from carbs. We want to keep carbs as high as possible for as long as possible, especially on the cut. But the protein goal will not change. The carbs go up and down depending on if you're bulking or cutting. To hit your protein goal, okay, enough protein gives the body the material. Then you stop eating protein. I've used this example many times in my Instagram reels. The link in the description will be there for Instagram if you want to go and check them out, because I'm always doing short form videos of these to help you learn. Once you hit your protein goal, let's say we have 2,500 calories in a day that you're allowing yourself, you've worked it all out, that number is specific to you. You hit your protein goal of, let's say, 150 grams of protein per day because you're 150 pounds and you hit that in 1500 calories. That means you have 1,000 calories left, and old me used to think more protein, more gains. Wrong. If you're thinking that, wrong. More protein doesn't mean it will just go straight to the bicep peak. You're now getting to a point, if you eat more protein, past 1 gram per pound of body weight, where it's diminishing returns and you get more value from building the muscle out of carbohydrates. So that 1,000 calories you have left over, you want to be eating all carbs. Sit there and have a bowl of potatoes, lovely seasoning. I had that the other day. I literally sat there because it hit my protein goal before dinner, because my goal and my diet is so protein based. It's so centered around protein. I sat there for dinner. I had like 1,000 calories left. I had a bowl of potatoes and sweet potatoes and a salad on the side, and it was lovely. I think I'm getting sad. Like that, honestly, it tasted so good. It was like 300 calories, 400 calories. And then I had some fruit after to fill the rest. It's all carbs, and you can utilize fruit for sweet tooth cravings as well. Use remaining calories for carbs, as I've said. Carbs give more value for your performance once the protein is covered using these carbs. Then you train harder. Better fuel means better sessions. Better sessions mean more muscle built. More muscle built means it's easier to lose fat and your body functions and it is just all round healthier. Past 1 gram per pound protein has diminishing returns. I've already said this. I'm just ahead of the game, mate. Respect it. Respect the knowledge. Carbs give you more performance value after that 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is hit. So the carb loading rule, this is where it gets interesting. Before workouts, you want to have 40 to 70 grams of fast digesting carbs, which means your glycogen tank will be full, which means you have a better session. Again, see it like petrol to your car. You're filling up your muscle tank before you can go to the gym and use them. 20 to 30 minutes or 20 to 40 minutes even before lifting is perfect. These are the healthy, fast carbs that you should be having. This is why I've put medjool dates as the king. I love medjool dates. I don't hear them talked about enough. They're an unbelievable sauce. They're packed with sugar and carbs, good sugar and good carbs, that if used correctly before the gym are unbelievable. Bananas, amazing. Honey digests so fast, amazing. You can even put all of these, which I do, on rice cakes, amazing. White rice, this is something that I'd have with a meal, like an hour before training. But then you have occasional fast carbs. Now, I changed this originally before making this video from unhealthy fast carbs because I don't want you to get confused and think that anything is unhealthy in moderation. But as I've said down here, they should only be used in emergencies. Do not make them daily staples. That is when it does get unhealthy. That is when you start to, even if you're in a calorie deficit and you're losing fat and you're feeling the best you've ever felt, you won't feel as good as you could. Okay, your skin might have spots and the quality of your food isn't there. Yes, you're getting adequate amount of carbs, proteins, fats, but they might not be the best quality. And also, these can be used very strategically, right? You have the Gatorade, you have the gummy bears or jellies, and Squares bars, no fiber and no fat, which fiber and fat, they slow down your digestion. We want as fast digestion as possible. How do you get that? From sugar and carbs. These can be used for cravings. If you're craving something sweet, I mean, I doubt anyone's craving a Gatorade if they've got a sweet tooth craving. Maybe you do. I don't. But you have the gummy bears and you have the Squares bars to scratch that sweet tooth craving 20 to 30 minutes before working out. And then you're actually using your craving. So it's somewhat okay. On the occasion, I'll have a Squares bar and gummy bears or something like that. If I'm out and about and I just want some fast carbs. I don't have it a lot. I can't remember the last time I had it. It's probably been months because I'm always at home. I'm always having bananas and dates. But if I'm abroad, I'll have a Squares bar and go. It's no problem if you're using the carbs. As I said, just don't include it in your everyday diet. But these are always the best options to use. Good for everyday use. Around training only. The goal is fast energy before training, not random sugar all day. Use the sugar, use the carbs to your advantage. Daily fuel carbs. Now, whole food carbs that fuel the training, control the hunger and support fat loss and satiety or satiety, whatever you want to call it, wherever you're from. Basically, that means you're satiated, which basically means you're fuller for longer, which helps reduce cravings because you don't feel hungry. High volume, low calorie. These are the GOAT. Potatoes. Oh, we didn't want that. Potatoes here. Unbelievable. But sweet potatoes are higher in fiber, They're both high in volume for low calories, which is amazing. You can have so much quantity for so little actual caloric amount that you're consuming. And that's the key, to have as high amount as possible, which is like salads, which is why they're so good, because you can have so much and it's just absolutely nothing in terms of calories. Sweet potato is higher than potatoes in terms of fiber. Fiber slows digestion, fuller for longer. Filling, high volume, great for fat loss. Useful, but calorie dense. Now, oats are also high in fiber, so they're very good, but you can have a small portion and the appetite that I've got now, that's not good enough. I want more. So oats, sourdough, pasta, white rice, all of these are great foods, but not necessarily for fat loss if you've got a high appetite, because you're gonna have a small bowl with a lot of calories and then you're gonna be like, I actually want more. I used to destroy oat bowls in less than 5 minutes, probably a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, and they were 1,000 to 1,500 calories with toppings. So that for me is a big no-no. I don't have that. Great foods, but track portions carefully. And these are the fruit carbs, right? Amazing. Carbs with fiber, micronutrients, and sweetness. These are the world's natural candy. This is what you should be having, and the leaner that you get, the more that you start to enjoy this food. Whole food carbs help you perform, they help you stay full, and they help you control cravings. But now we go on to the fats. Fats support the whole system. Hormones, your brain health, and healthy calories. Everything, as you're seeing, is so important. The protein's so important, the carbs are so important, the fats are so important. What fats actually do? Now, you can have avocado. All of these are healthy for you, by the way, but not necessarily healthy for your fat loss because they're so calorie dense. Fats are 9 calories per gram. Protein and carbs are 4 calories per gram. So they're over double the caloric value, which means you're gonna get so little for so many calories, which is something you wanna be doing on the bulk, not the cut. So if we're talking about bulking, it's a completely different story. But you've got dark chocolate, you've got peanut butter, you've got avocado, you've got the yolk from the eggs, nuts. Don't listen to anyone if they say nuts are high protein. You gotta have like 1 million nuts to get 20 grams of protein. You're getting more fats from it. Cheese, butters, olive oil. Make sure all of these things are the best quality as well. Yes, they will cost a little bit more, but your health, how are you prioritizing an extra few pounds, few dollars, wherever you're from, over your health? It doesn't make sense. The fats support your hormones, your testosterone, and your brain health. But warning, as I said, fats, 9 calories per gram. They're useful, but they're very easy to overeat. So keep fats away from workouts as well, because they slow down your digestion. We've just gone over this, but with the carbs, you want as fast digestion as possible. So if you're scranning an avocado, mate, 30 minutes before your workouts, it's working against the carbs. It's like the roadblock. Your carbs are here trying to fill up your tank, and there's a roadblock of fat in the way. It's like, let me fill it up. It's like, no, mate, and the fats are gonna win. Yeah, they slow digestion, which is good if you want to slow digestion not around workouts. But the key is fast digesting carbs to literally digest as fast as possible. So you don't want slow digestion, fast digestion working against each other. You wanna do one at a time and at the right times. Fats are important, but they are not your main training fuel. Vegetables control your hunger. More bites, more volume, fewer calories. All of these are amazing. I like mushrooms. I love mushrooms. The volume that you can get from things like mushrooms, spinach, lettuce, broccoli, tomatoes. I love those the most because, one, the volume, but I like tomatoes. I like broccoli, lettuce specifically because you get a bit of a crunch to it. So it feels more substantial. If you're having spinach, yes, it's amazing, but one, I could have like 100 calories of spinach in one mouthful. It shrinks up and it doesn't feel substantial. It goes down too easily. I like to add a little bit of friction to when I'm eating so that I'm having higher volume of food, low calories, but also there's a bit of friction to me even eating it. I've got to chew a little bit. So it's all these little advantages that compound to make it so much easier. Vegetables make meals bigger without adding loads of calories. They help control hunger, cravings, and digestion. They are not your main training fuel. Carbs are. Use vegetables to make dieting easier, not to replace your fuel. So this is how to build meals. Build your meals around the protein, carbs, and vegetables. Then place fats intelligently. Obviously, this is like the calorie deficit. This is like the pieces to the puzzle. This is like the fat loss puzzle that I talked about in one of my previous videos. Definitely go and watch that. That is an unbelievable insight, and the feedback on that has been so amazing as to how to construct meals and how to see it so that you never struggle to get to 10% body fat and you'll never have stubborn belly fat again. Especially not around the lower belly fat and the love handles. So your normal meal, not around training. Proteins, carbs, veg. This is the foods that you're going to use. Steak if you're treating yourself. Build the meal around the protein first and then add the carbs and veg after. So your pre-workout is before the training, obviously. 20 to 30 minutes, 40 to 70 grams of carbs, fast carbs only. All of these are fast carbs. The king, don't forget the king. Try out Medjool dates. If they say juicy on the front, and I'm not even joking, I think from Tesco, obviously a UK thing, but from Tesco, there's some that are actually called juicy Medjool dates. You get them juicy ones? Or they're my favourite fruit by far. They're so underrated, I don't see them talked about enough. So this is what your pre-workout will look like. Your post-workout. Now this is where white rice is amazing, but very calorie dense, so be careful. White rice is fast digesting. You pair that with like white rice or turkey breast or chicken breast. That's a low calorie meal for unbelievable macros. And the white rice is helping basically use that protein. You're before, okay, over here, before, pre-workout, filling up the muscle tank. Then you go and work out here. You use the muscle tank. It's now on empty. Then after, you need to refill the muscle tank again so that you can function better and your body can function and build the muscle effectively. You fill up the muscle tank and then you use the protein from the full muscle tank. I'm hoping this makes sense. You want to fill glycogen, use glycogen, fill glycogen, or fill the tank, lose the tank, fill the tank. That's basically what you're doing. Fast carbs plus a lean protein, refill the glycogen, then give the body the protein. Most meals build the body, but the workout meals fuel the session, which then by extension builds the body. The wrong way versus the right way. Same goal, different fuel, different outcome. The wrong way is as such. Too much protein, just protein shakes, bro. Have a protein shake. No carbs, low energy, or it's just very bad quality carbs. Bad sessions, then you have the cravings later. There's no satiety, whatever you want to call it. There's no fullness. You're not utilizing fiber. You're not utilizing the right foods, which if all of these foods were healthy and had the fiber, it would totally change my stance on them, although they shouldn't be your daily staples. But they would actually have some use. There's no use in these foods besides your dopamine being scratched. That is why they're so dangerous. You're not weak, you're just underfueled. So the carb loading way, which is the right way, you've got these 4 rows, which is how your meal should be constructed. You've got the 0% fat Greek yogurt. You've got the chicken breast. You've got the turkey breast, 2% fat. You've got the 5% fat beef mince. Then you've got all the fast digesting carbs here in these 4. Then you've got the slow digesting carbs, which are utilized for hunger. Then you've got the vegetables and the fruits for volume and for fiber as well in the fruits. Then again, slows digestion. Do you see how this is just, you're constructing your meals to make you win? You're either, every single time you put something in your mouth, you have to ask the question, is this useful? What use am I getting out of this? Or is it just my dopamine making it? Do I just want that pizza because, oh my God, it would taste so good? But in reality, I know my body's not craving pizza. My mind's dopamine is craving pizza. This makes the decisions, but this is trying to tell it what it wants. And when you have dopamine in the way, your decision is skewed. It's too noisy. Your brain, the dopamine is so loud in your brain that your body can no longer communicate. It can't hear to your head, cannot hear what your body is craving and saying because this is filled with dopamine and is so loud. It's like the speakers are blaring, the dopamine speakers, and the whole food body that it wants whole foods is trying to communicate to the brain. Make the decision to have whole foods. But because your dopamine's so fried and loud, that speaker's on absolute blast. But then after a couple of weeks of you not giving your body the dopamine and terrible food, then that speaker of dopamine starts to slow down. It starts to die down. And then you start genuinely loving your diet, which is why the first hurdle is always the hardest to climb and it's always the highest to climb. Once you get past the first hurdle, it's smooth sailing. These are also healthy fats, right? Salmon is also healthy fat, but on the cut, for example, fats, high in calories. So salmon is going to be higher in calories. It's not the best option in terms of high volume, for low calories, but it's a very healthy source of fats and proteins, as we know. So you can use both and get a double trouble there, mate. Kill two birds with one stone, geez. Olive oil, avocados, banging. Enough protein, smart carbs, better training, better adherence, better physique overall. Fuel the training and build your body. So the final takeaway is this: we're there. Stop fearing carbs. Learn how to use them and the correct ones to use. Carbs do not make you fat. Misusing carbs and using the wrong carbs in general does. Fuel the training and build the body. These are the carbs. These are the energy. They fuel the energy. Then that fuels the training and that gets you the body that you want. Thank you so much for going through this video. This is my complete carb system. I can send this over to you. Just message me on Instagram and I'll send you this full document. The link will be in the description to my Instagram. But if you're still, struggling to not get in the best shape of your life, there'll also be a link in the description. If you're not, you're still seeing those love handles, you're still seeing those lower belly fat, or that lower belly fat, that soft, fluffier look in your midsection, and it just won't go, even though you're going to the gym and you're not seeing the results that you want, then there will be a call in the description. It'll be a Calendly link, and it will be to book a call one-to-one with me to see if we're a good fit to work together. The client results are all over on my Instagram. They're absolutely unbelievable. In the matter of 30 days, you're seeing clients change their life. 60 days, 90 days. They're mesmerizing transformations, if I do say so myself. Go and have a look at them. But yeah, this is not something you hop on a call with someone else. One of my team, this is me. This is personalized to you. This is you. You're not a number that comes in this system if you decide to work with me and if I decide to work with you. This is, you are you. You're unique. You're one of one. Everything needs to be specified to your work schedule, to your taste buds, every single thing. Okay, so the link will be there in the description if you want to book that call. Link in the description as well for my Instagram. I appreciate your time. Leave a like and a comment. Any feedback is appreciated. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, boys. Peace out, guys.